Your referee in charge is Ben Rodriguez.
Para atrás. You guys received my instruction in the dressing room, so you know what I expect. A good, clean championship fight. La línea de cinturón está bien en medio de las letras. Belt line is good right at the top of the letters here. Okay? Obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times, touch gloves. God bless you both.
So we're headed to our main event. Ardreal Holmes coming in off a huge knockout win over Marlon Harrington, and Hugo Noriega with an 8-round decision win over Saul Corral. And here we go. Holmes has been a very effective boxer, though we saw big power from him the last time, and he said, I'm not going to look for power, I'm just going to hope that it comes organically as it did in the fight with Harrington.
Holmes out of the southpaw stance, Noriega righty, both guys jabbing.
Now Noriega has committed to going to the body.
Oh, yeah.
We saw him do it right there. He's a good body puncher. In the video we've seen of him, he's a good body puncher.
Yeah, I've seen him knock out 2 fighters with body shots. And so far you've seen, like from what I said at the beginning, he likes to pick with that jab to the body on top and then try to land the right hand. And he's being aggressive. His fight is at mid to short range. He said he was going to bring the fight, and so far that's what I see in this first round.
Now Holmes starting to use his jab a little bit more effectively, and he has a very good jab, and he said that's what he wanted to do. We're seeing also Holmes get caught on the ropes a little bit. That's probably not somewhere he wants to be too much. We're halfway through round number 1 of this 10-rounder. Al Bernstein, Raul Marquez, we're so happy you joined us here on DAZN for this night of boxing.
We see Holmes trying to land that left hand over the top, or straight left hand like he did against Harrington. You could see he's sitting down on his shots a lot more. There's that left hand again by Holmes, trying to set up that left hand with the jab and catch Noriega coming in.
Holmes tries the right hook a moment ago, and that's one of the punches that hurt Harrington and knocked him down one of the 2 times he went down. Noriega, who they said they're trying to create more of a pro style with him. They felt like his 2 losses, both decision losses, came because he wasn't setting down his punches enough and getting on the inside.
And of course that comes, from being an amateur for so long. I mean, the Cuban School of Boxing, he was stuck in Cuba. He had over 250 amateur fights now.
And he's only been a pro since 2022. Overhand, a big right hook by Holmes doesn't get there. 6-week training camp in this fight for Ardreal Holmes, training out in Las Vegas. And that'll do it for round number 1. We head into round number 2 in this Super Welterweight battle. Well, technically it's junior middleweight because it's the USBA title. So that sometimes 154 is super welterweight, sometimes it's junior middleweight.
Yes.
Why? Because boxing likes to confuse us.
Well, it depends on the belt, we know
Yeah,
that.
exactly. But guess what? It's 154 pounds.
There we go.
And as we head into round 2, Holmes, the 30-year-old who is undefeated, protecting that record and trying to move forward in this division, and Noriega, who, by the way, lost to Abbas Barrow, who is ranked in a decision, who's ranked just 2 notches below Holmes in the IBF rankings. So he went the distance with him and fought him well. We'll see if he can do how well he can do against Holmes.
Yeah, and Noriega also, he's got a good chin. Like you said, he lost to 2 prospects that had winning records, and he's never been knocked out, so he's durable. And as you see, Holmes is trying to bait him in. I know what he's doing. He's giving him some head movement, making him miss. He's pawing him with the jab, trying to control that range, that distance. And as soon as Noriega opens up, watch Holmes trying to land that left hand, because Noriega opens up a little bit. He's a little bit wide with his punches, Al, and Holmes is a lot tighter with his shots and a lot tighter with his defense. So it's like a chess game that Holmes is playing. He touches with the jab. He's trying to bait him in. Oh, nice uppercut. You see how he changed it up there with the jab and uppercut up the middle instead of coming in with another jab. That's that uppercut jab.
Just over a minute left to go in this round, and the offense has perked up for Holmes Jr. He's been able to land some pretty good punches here in this round. And there he tries again with the uppercut. This is a round in which he knocked Marlon Harrington out, and he has picked up his offense a bit and set down on his power punches a bit more in this round as well.
I like that Holmes is, when he dissects with the jab, and it's not always that he throws that left hand. When he throws a straight left hand, but sometimes he changes it up to an uppercut now, trying to catch Noriega coming in, because Noriega comes in low. He kind of lunges with his shots.
Final moments of round number 2 in our main event, scheduled for 10, and it's a round in which the offense picked up, especially for Ardreal Holmes, who lands a nice body punch to punctuate this round. Well, we're expecting close to 100,000 fans in Wembley Stadium in London, England, as Riyadh season card headlines with Anthony Joshua versus fellow Brit Daniel Dubois. That's for the IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World, by now on DAZN.
You see his trainer there trying to tell him how to avoid that left uppercut that Holmes is trying to catch him with. It caught him a couple of times. Give him an angle off of that.
We head into the 3rd round of our 10-rounder. Ardreal Holmes in the gold trunks, undefeated, 15-0, 30-year-old, taking on Hugo Noriega, who is coming here to fight Holmes in his hometown. Noriega has 2 losses in his professional career versus 10 wins, and he's got 5 KOs. He's trying to land some power punches against Holmes, but not quite getting there. Oh, there's a big right hand by Noriega, and that is his best power punch.
Noriega landed that overhand right, but right before that, you saw Holmes land a counter left hand. Noriega was not lying. He was going to be aggressive in that. He's bringing it to Holmes.
I think they wanted a little more volume from him, though, and I think they'd like to see the volume come up for Noriega. We'll see if he can do that as these rounds continue. He had 3 weeks notice for this fight, but Noriega said, I was training for another fight, so I am ready mentally and physically.
See Noriega trying to throw that right hand to the body, changing it up, trying to confuse Holmes. He throws the right hand to the body and then watch him come over the top. He likes to pick with that jab. See that? There's that right hand, but it's kind of like a slapping right hand, Al. I feel like he's not really sitting on that shot.
Halfway through this 3rd round.
Good head movement there by Holmes.
Noriega keeps coming forward, but not always as effective as he would like to be.
You're right. He's missing a lot of shots, and Holmes is very relaxed in there. He's very cool. He's trying to land those counter left hands and counter left uppercuts.
One of Noriega's losses came to fellow Cuban lefty Damian Descal, and Descal bedeviled him with his left-handed style and his hand speed, and that's one thing they were worried about a little bit against Holmes as well.
Everything missed there from Noriega. Yeah, a pretty good boxer, puncher. A guy that moves is the guy that's going to give Noriega a lot of problems, and that's why
Descal did that against him and had a lot of hand speed as well. And Holmes has given him some movement, not too much, but just enough.
There's that left hand again by Holmes. Kind of staggered Noriega. He felt that left hand now.
You get the feeling the uppercuts from Holmes may become a weapon as well as we wind down here in round number 3. And both men setting down their punches, and Holmes a little bit more effective in landing power punches. And Holmes shows his defensive skills right at the end of that round. And we are headed into round number 4 in our main event.
Here we see Holmes very relaxed, a little bit of feint with the jab, and then he lands that sneaky left hand. He's kind of bringing it there to Noriega again, setting up his shot with the jab and beautiful left uppercut. Like he said, he changes the direction of his left hand all the time. Not always the same. Again, that jab, left hand, he missed with the left hand there, but he did connect with a straight left hand and an uppercut with his left hand. And he's sitting down on his shots too.
As we head into round number 4 in this matchup, so far, Ardreal Holmes has shown the willingness to try and land some big power punches and has landed some. He told us he wasn't going to look for that. He wanted it to come organically through combinations and the normal process of being a boxer puncher, and we'll see if that materializes in his fight. Noriega, the 34-year-old from Cuba, has been marching forward, but not always effectively.
That was a nice counter check right hook by Holmes. See, now, like I was saying, the jab, he changes it up to counter right hook, an uppercut, good angles there by Holmes, giving Noriega a lot of problems.
The movement of Holmes has been an issue, as it was in the one of the previous losses that Noriega had. Holmes' mom, Vernicia, originally wasn't that keen on him boxing, but then as it went on, she got more and more involved, and now she's at the gym. She's a big part of what he does. She just didn't like to see her son get hit. Who does, right?
Who does, right?
Nice right hand by Noriega, and that's the punch that he really would like to get in. That could be a game changer for him if he can land it with enough power.
Yeah, but it's hard to connect on Holmes. You know, he gives you a lot of side-to-side movement. He gives a lot of feints. Yeah, he's got really good defense. And you know, he carries his weight in the center and back leg. Look at that. All those shots by Noriega missed because you see Holmes, he's not on his front leg. He's in his back leg. And that makes it harder for Noriega to catch him. And he's got to reach. And then when he reaches, then Holmes is able to counterpunch him.
Under a minute left to go here in round number 4. Neither man has had phenomenal offense in this round.
Oh, just he's looking for the home run. He's finding that left hand. It makes Noriega miss again. You know, that's got to be disturbing for Noriega, frustrating it. He can't catch him with solid shots. He misses more shots than he lands shots.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for Noriega offensively, and there's a perfect example of Holmes slipping the right hand. We're headed into the final moments of round 4. Around it, neither man did a lot offensively, but again, the defensive skills of Holmes might be enough with what he did land to get him that round. Who knows? But round 4 will pass into the night.
All right, here we see Holmes very relaxed. That counter check right hook that landed right on Noriega's temple. It might have dazed him a little bit or knocked him off balance. There's that counter left hand again by Holmes. Very accurate with his shots, precise. I think up until now, I think he's given Noriega a pretty decent boxing lesson that I would call. Don't you think so, Al?
Yeah, I think Holmes has shown us the boxing skills that we know he had coming into this fight.
Yes.
He showed power last time, but we know that he is a very skilled boxer.
And he showed some power tonight. I mean,
yeah.
you can see where he's trying to sit on his shots and maybe get Noriega out of there. But hey, he's taking those shots. He's got a good chin.
No, he does, because there have been a few good ones landed. We're into round 5, headed toward the halfway mark of this 10-rounder, if it goes the distance. Ardreal Holmes in the gold trunks, Hugo Noriega in the red. Noriega trying to get that right hand in again, and it doesn't quite get there, which has been the story of the evening for him.
Again, missing with he's trying to land that counter right hook again. Holmes, he just missed with it. I would love for him to come back with a straight left hand after that.
And there's the double jab downstairs. Noriega has a decent left hook, but hasn't used it enough to keep Holmes in front of him. Holmes will move to his left and be able to do it.
Yeah, he just can't find the right distance, the right range. Holmes giving him that subtle movement to the right or left, and then he's gone.
And that has been the nemesis of him in the 2 fights he's lost, Noriega. And the thing about Holmes is he is a brilliant defensive fighter. Yeah. I mean, he is a brilliant defensive fighter.
Exactly, you're right. A good boxer.
Yeah.
Not a lot of power, but some power. But gives him a lot of movement. Keeps turning him. Keeps him off balance. Is the kind of fighter that's going to give Noriega problems.
Yeah,
and that's Holmes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of not the best scenario for Noriega. Though, he hoped he could make it. And listen, we're not done. We're only in the 5th round, so Noriega's going to keep plodding away and trying to land some of those power punches.
I mean, we're about to go to the second half of the fight, and obviously this style is not working for Noriega. Yeah, I think he's weighing a little bit too much. I think after this round, he needs to try to apply even more pressure, more body shots. Hit Holmes on the arm, just hit him anywhere. Aim forget about the head, hit the shoulders, hit the body, try to cut off the ring, force him into a firefight, and he can outbox him.
And the left hook to the body, an underused weapon for Noriega as well. Holmes in this round, a nice left hand there by Noriega. Holmes in this round has not landed power punches, but he's landed some really good jabs and a few combinations. The jab has been pretty effective for him. Well, final seconds of round number 5. And Ardreal Holmes and Hugo Noriega will head to the second half of this fight in our main event. Well, a reminder that tomorrow night, Eduardo Rocky Hernandez, always exciting, will face Thomas Matisse in the main event as Hernandez seeks to get back into title contention, and Thomas Matisse is no pushover, so that should be a very exciting fight. You can see it on DAZN. Our friend Corey Erdman will be calling that one, who is often normally here with us in our Big Time Boxing USA series. You're stuck with me alone, Raul.
I love it. I can't go wrong. I mean, you're a legend. You're a Hall of Famer. It's a great outburst. And let's talk about a little bit of Al. You've been covering me. You covered me. We always say that, but for people that don't know this, you covered me in the 1989 Olympic Festival in '91, I believe, as an amateur. You covered me in the Olympics. You covered me as a pro a couple of times. And we worked together in the past as broadcasters now, and here we are again on DAZN.
It's been a
Big Time Boxing, USA.
There you go. It's been a long history and a good one that I treasure.
How old are you, Alan? Okay, I'm not going to ask.
Oh, ouch. Well, I started when I was 10. So
there you go. That's it. So we're the same age.
Right around the same. Holmes landed a beautiful left hand. Oh, there he slipped.
That a slip, yeah.
And that could have been, he slipped on the logo. That won't be called a knockdown.
Yeah, that was definitely a slip.
Luckily, Noriega was held off by referee Rodriguez. If he had punched him, that could have been a big, even a disqualification.
I'll tell you what, they're wiping down the water. I'll tell you, when you slip like that could, you could mess up an ankle, twist an ankle, and get yourself hurt like that.
Yep. Luckily, it doesn't look like that happened to Holmes, but we live in an age of logos in rings, and so it's a hazard that didn't exist 40 years ago. Holmes trying to throw some combinations. Now, Holmes has gone downstairs, and we just saw it there to the body a little bit more in recent rounds. Ardreal Holmes in the gold trunks, 30 years of age, hoping that right now he can make his move in the 154-pound division. Noriega at 34. Trying to get a win that will keep him in a conversation.
I feel that Noriega, is bringing in a little bit more in this second half of the fight. He's trying, but Holmes is he's a good technician, man. He's a student of the game. He's an art. Boxing is an art, is a skill, and he's making him miss, making him pay.
I'm gonna make a reference to a fighter who was from a while ago. The great Michael Nunn had defensive skills that were just hard to get past. And in some ways, Ardreal Holmes reminds me of him, because if he doesn't want you to hit him, it's going to be pretty hard to hit him.
And he's tall and lanky, built a little
left-hander like Michael was. Yeah. So it's
kind of fights in his back leg from the outside. Yeah, that long jab.
It's a tough slog for some fighters to get to him. Now, the question is, and even in this fight we're seeing it, Ardreal Holmes is controlling these rounds and doing some good offensive work. How much more does he need to do is the question to make it the kind of convincing win he wants?
Well, I think he's doing what he's supposed to do. Like, he don't need to get into a firefight with Noriega. He's fighting smart. He's fighting discipline. He's got to pick his spots when he wants to trade with Noriega, make him miss, make him pay. But if he sits there and trades with Noriega, then he's going to give Noriega what he wants. Look at right now, he just landed a beautiful 1-2.
Yeah, no reason to trade with him. The question is, how much offense does he need to generate just to make it a convincing win? But in any case, he's controlling virtually all of these rounds. Noriega occasionally getting in a shot like he did a moment ago. So round 6 is just about completed. Noriega feinting to try and work his way in, trying to do anything he can to get inside. And that'll do it for round number 6.
Here we see how slippery Holmes is. Great defense. Look at that, making him miss. Everything's sliding. Nothing's touching him there. Carrying his weight in the back leg. you see Noriega reaching and missing every shot now.
That was a great replay and very much demonstrated what we've been saying about Ardreal Holmes. There was no lack of conviction on the part of Noriega to try and make something happen there. He just couldn't. So we head into round number 7. Ardreal Holmes in the gold trunks, 15-0, 6 KOs. This is his hometown, Flint, Michigan, fighting before his home fans at age 30. And Hugo Noriega, far from where he was born in Cuba, lives in Miami, Florida. He's taken the trip here to the Midwest to try and upend the apple cart of Ardreal Holmes. And so far, it's been a difficult assignment for him as he's trying to solve the Rubik's Cube of the Ardreal Holmes defense. And Holmes continues to work with the jab. He has a good jab. And, you know, there's the good right hook to the body. For a pure boxer, although he would call himself a boxer puncher, which he wants to be, Ardreal Holmes is a very good body puncher.
Yeah, he is. And I love his focus inside the ring. He's so relaxing, man.
Yeah.
Look at his demeanor. You can see it in his body.
And that relaxation is part of what makes you a great defensive fighter, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That does make you.
It's a big help, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're not all
relaxed. You're not tight. You see everything. Look, he made it every shot right there. Noriega threw, he missed. And again, I like to emphasize the way he carries his weight in the center or back leg. He's never fighting off his front foot. If he was on his front foot like Noriega is, he would be getting caught with those shots.
Yeah. The jab has been an effective weapon here in this round for Holmes. And then there he comes with the straight left. And I would think, based on how many jabs he's now starting to land, we're going to see that straight left follow it more often. Some bravado from Noriega, but it's frustrating for him, especially in this round.
He's got to be very frustrated. I'm surprised he hasn't lost his cool. I mean, you know how frustrating it is to be able to, to throw your best shots, and he really can't land on Holmes. You know, Holmes his defense is it's unbelievable. It's good defense.
Under a minute left to go in round number 7. There's the right hook from Holmes, and that's a punch that he used for one of his knockouts over Harrington, Marlon Harrington, in his last fight. Just when Noriega thinks, I've got him on the ropes and I can land some punches, Holmes wheels away, and makes it impossible.
Yeah, Holmes keeps turning him, even that subtle movement to the right or to the left. You know, he keeps turning him in circles, and he gets out of the way. It's frustrating.
So round 7 goes into the record books, and it is another good one for Holmes.
Again, here we see Holmes' defense. Look how elusive he is. 1-2, he gets underneath, he takes a turn, and then look how he maneuvers with the jab. Pity-pats a little bit, tries to land a big body shot. I'm telling you, he's a technician. He's a student of the game. I love the way he's fighting. He's fighting very smart.
Well, a moment ago, Noriega threw 2 really good left hooks to the body, and he was trying to come up and double with it, and Holmes was gone. So it's part of the problem that he's facing.
I know you see this storm all over here. After the right hand, he's going to hit side. Look at that fucking guy. He's tired.
Well, in any language, that means you got to land the right hand. And he's going to be trying to do that, Noriega, as we head into round 8.
Here we see Noriega trying to, he just can't get the right distance. He can't catch Holmes, and then Holmes comes back and he counters him.
The hand speed difference for Ardreal Holmes has been huge. There's the right hook again as he continues to unlimber the jab. We've seen more volume from Holmes in the last couple of rounds.
Tell you what, both fighters here throwing big shots at mid to short distance. Look at that defense again. Look how slippery he is, and then he gets out of the way again, Al. It's like it's the bull of the matador. I love that counter right hook when he catches him, and he turns him and then knocks him off balance.
Well, it's a weapon that, not everybody thinks of when they think of Ardreal Holmes, but that right hook to the body and the head, or right hook, is a very good weapon for him.
I tell you what, he definitely made a lot of adjustments, from last fight to this fight. The last two fight, this fight and the last fight. When he sat down in his shots, he scored that big knockout against Harrington, and today, this is a great performance.
He's boxing very well.
Yeah, you're not gonna knock everybody out, but look, he's boxing very intelligently. It's dominating every round. What else can you ask for?
Yeah, Clarissa Shields, who saw him in this camp and even worked with him a little bit, said she thinks he's better now than he was even before when he fought Harrington. She said, I see subtle improvements in him, even between then. And certainly from a defensive standpoint, that's been the case. And offensively, he's been able to do enough to win all these rounds, which is the key element. Noriega's still trying. There's a left hook to the body by Noriega. The thing that would make that work is if he could double that punch and then land the left hook to the head. He's been unable to do that. About a half minute left to go in round number 8, and Holmes has continued to control the tempo of this fight.
Yep, he keeps turning him in circles and getting out of the way. Noriega's not, he's not able to cut off the ring. He's following him one way. He doesn't move to the right or to the left.
Can't cut off that movement. So, round number 8 is over, and time is running out, it appears, for Hugo Noriega. That is our opinion in any case, depending on how the judges have seen this fight.
Again, it's been all Holmes. There you see him tapping with the jab, makes a miss, counter over the top with the counter right hook, check hook. Then there he is maneuvering with the jab. Misses big there with the counter right hook, but doesn't give up. He's catching him. Now he knocks him off balance with his jab. That's frustrating. Goes to the body. Really knows how to maneuver with that jab hand to set up punches or combinations, Al.
This man is a medical assistant working here in Flint, and he took time off from his job to be in Las Vegas to train, and he felt that being able to really concentrate on that has made him even better, and we're seeing evidence of that here tonight. He didn't like his fight against Wendy Toussaint 2 fights ago. Didn't feel that was a good performance. Wanted to redeem himself. Did that in the fight against Harrington, and he said, I want to improve on that. And in some ways he has, even though he hasn't shown the power. It's been a very good performance by him. And for Hugo Noriega, who came in with urgency in this fight, these last 6 minutes are just everything to him at age 34. He's only got the 2 losses, but if he wants to stay in the hunt for any kind of important fights, he's going to have to do something dramatic.
Oh yeah, for sure. Noriega needs to just make this into a barn burner. Just go for it. He's got
big left hook for the body, and he just can't get in a position to double that punch or to land the right after it.
Well, he gets discouraged by Holmes' movement and elusiveness, his slipperiness, his jab, his speed, everything, his footwork. He ain't gonna do it with one shot.
Yeah, he's not a one-punch knockout artist. He's got 5 knockouts in 10 fights, and he's not the kind of person that's going to probably get you out of there with one punch. Holmes setting down on that straight left, thinking, okay, maybe I can make something dramatic happen from my end.
I like that. I see that in Holmes, not giving up. It is the 9th round. He's winning comfortably, but he's still being sneaky and looking for that knockout punch. You saw that when he missed that left hand. There's that counter right hook that he missed with. It could still happen. Yeah. It's possible. Anything's possible.
A little over a minute left to go here in round number 9, the penultimate round of our main event. 154-pound matchup with Ardreal Holmes, ranked number 12 by the IBF, number 14 by the WBO, just outside the top 10, hoping he can, in a division that is filled with excellent fighters, hoping he can inch his way up and get a fight of note. Oh my, well that was the best left hand that we've seen in this fight, and Noriega took it pretty well, even though it pushed him backwards. That kind of looked like the punch that knocked down Harrington. And this round has been a very good offensive round for Ardreal Holmes. And that overhand right kind of graphically is this fight in microcosm, landing short for Noriega. And that's going to do it for the 9th round. 3 minutes left to go for Ardreal Holmes, in theory, to kind of get through to what we think might be a decision win, or maybe to have a power showing of his own, and for Noriega to do something dramatic.
Here we see again that beautiful counter left hand by Holmes, landed right on Noriega's chin. Definitely caught his attention. Bam. Pinpoint right on the chin.
It's good work.
He took it very well.
Boy,
he took it very well.
Did he ever? As I said, it kind of looked like the punch that knocked down Harrington. So
you could tell.
We're headed into the 10th round.
Holmes had that look on him like, I hit him with a good left hand. He's not going nowhere yet.
This is territory both fighters have seen before, so it's not new for them. Wouldn't expect either to fade dramatically. And with Holmes presumably up on the scorecards, it's more of an issue for him in a way. Noriega got a 21-day notice for this fight. Said he was preparing for another fight, felt he would be ready enough to take this challenge. And I don't think that it's the time element or anything that's impeded him. It's just the fact that Ardreal Holmes has fought such a very good fight against him. And there's 2 minutes and 25 seconds for Noriega to try and make something dramatic happen.
He's trying, but he's just coming straight forward with no feints, no head movement. I mean, he's there to be hit. He's there to be hit with everything that Ardreal throws. Ardreal keeps boxing on his toes, keeps circling around him.
Holmes feinting a little bit. We haven't seen that as much from him as I might have expected, but usually you do that when you're going to be offensive and aggressive, and he's been fighting off the back foot. Nice right hook by Holmes after a good body punch. So he's setting down on those punches a little bit in this last round.
For sure, yes.
Maybe wanting to make some kind of statement in addition to, in this fight, in addition to his boxing excellence. And there's half a round left to go.
Still making a miss. Big wide shots by Noriega.
This is really a nightmare matchup for Noriega because a left-hander who has good movement and good hand speed is just his. It's his kryptonite.
Yes,
and it's been difficult for him.
It's very, very frustrating.
His best moments will come against right-handers in which it's a stationary kind of a situation.
And guys that come forward that are not going to stand in front.
Oh, big right hook by Holmes. And Noriega shakes his head to say, yeah, and I think he was stunned a little bit by that punch. And now Holmes, with only less than a minute left to go, getting offensive to see if he can find some lightning in a bottle to maybe even end this fight before it goes to a decision. But he's landed some big power punches, Holmes has, in this 10th round. Ardreal Holmes trying to make his statement that he belongs in the upper echelon of the 154-pound division, a division filled with excellent fighters. Final seconds ticking away, and looks for all the world like Holmes is marching his way to what will likely be a decision win for him. We can't say for sure because you never know, but it would be shocking. And Hugo Noriega, a frustrating night for him. He certainly was game, he tried his best, but could not solve the defense. The home of boxing, and you can buy that right now. That's going to be an interesting weekend for sure with that fight. Ardreal Holmes goes the full 10, does so with relative ease for sure. And for Hugo Noriega, frustration in his corner, the 34-year-old from Cuba, who was an amateur standout, had hoped that tonight he could come in here and do something dramatic and upset Ardreal Holmes and put himself in a better position to move ahead in this 154-pound division. It doesn't appear that that happened. It would be malpractice in the worst kind for the judges to not give this fight to Ardreal Holmes Jr., and we're expecting that they probably will. And Holmes, who is at 15-0 with 6 KOs, doesn't add to his KO mark, but could well add to his win mark. Let's send things up to Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Luis Delgado scores it 96-94, and both judges Vincent Santino and Jacqueline Atkins score it the same, 97-93, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And still, IBF USBA Junior Middleweight Champion, Ardreal Bossman Holmes Jr.